Hey, it's Eric here. Let's go ahead and talk about variables in Scratch. Now, a variable is essentially one piece of data that is being stored within your Scratch project. And this piece of data can be what we call a text string, which is essentially a fancy way of saying a word, or it could be a number. And I think it's easiest to explain variables as numbers. So let's go ahead and do that. As you can see here, I have a project with a tennis ball bouncing around, and I have Nano who can move back and forth. So I want to create a game where we have a score of, say, 100, and every time Nano gets hit by the tennis ball, his score goes down by 1. So how would I go about doing that? Well, first, I go into my data, and I want to make a variable. I want to make my variable for my score. So I'll go ahead, type in score, and then I'm given this option here, for all sprites or for this sprite only. So this is what's called a global variable, so this will affect all of our sprites, and this is called a local variable. Now for now, I'm just going to go ahead and choose a global variable because I'm not sure if I'll use this score for my tennis ball and Nano. So just to be safe, I'll go ahead and make it a global variable. So go ahead, click OK. Now I see right here, my score appears in the left side, of the screen here, and it says score is 0. So like I said, I wanted to start with a score of 100, okay? So how would I go about doing this? Well, first I'd have to say we want to set score to 100 at the beginning of this game. So as you can see, I've already have some sequences here to build out the project. So I can go ahead and just affix this to the top of one of these sequences. So I want to set the score to 100 when this game starts. So we can go ahead, click the green arrow. See, okay, score is 100, good. But I'm still not seeing that that interactivity where if the ball hits Nano, the score goes down. So how would I go about doing that? Well, we jump here and we see the change score by 1. So let's say whenever the tennis ball is touching Nano, change that score by -1. Okay. So as you can see, I've already gone ahead and done that. So when green flag is clicked, if Nano is touching tennis ball, then change the score by -1. So let's go ahead and try it out. Oh, so avoiding the tennis ball, pretty good. Oh, I'm hitting it. It's going down, score's going down. So you can see the score is jumping down pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of wait time in there so it won't jump down so dramatically. So let's keep watching it. So 99, oh, 98, oh, 97. So you can see it's pretty cool. So we essentially built our first game. So not bad, not bad. Only took us a few minutes too. Okay, so now we see here in the left, we see show variable score and hide variable score. So essentially, if we wanted to keep this hidden from the user, we would just go ahead and just throw the show and hide. So you're probably thinking variables are amazing. Well, let me show you this and blow your mind even more. We can go ahead and dynamically change a variable inside of our game. So let me explain this. So you see the tennis ball now is moving kind of quickly. Say we want an option here to speed up the tennis ball. So a user can be dynamically changing a value, and this tennis ball would take that value and use it and change the speed. So I mean, it sounds bizarre and not possible. Let's go ahead and explain how to do this. So I'm going to make a variable, and I'm going to call it speed. Okay, and I want this variable to affect just my tennis ball. So I'm actually going to jump back and go to my tennis ball and make that variable again. I'm going to call it speed, and I just want it to affect the tennis ball. Okay, so tennis ball speed equals 0. Well, watch this. I'll go ahead and click this once, double click this once, and we see the user interface change just to show the variable. Okay, it's at 0. Then I'll click it one more time. I'll double click it one more time, and now we see this cool slider. Okay, so as I slide this, we see the value is changing. Okay, interesting. Well, how do we use this to our advantage? Well, you see right here in our move for our tennis ball, we have a tennis ball moving at 10 steps. So that's why it's moving pretty quickly, not too fast, not too slow. If I were to change this to 20, we see it speeds up. If I were to change it to 100, we see it's going really fast. So these are all manual changes. But what if we could use this speed to affect this number in here? So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to grab my variable, drop it in here. Okay, so speed is now 0. If I were to move this, we see that the speed increases, so the game becomes more difficult. So how cool is that? A variable is now changing dynamically, which makes our game either easier or harder. So as we can see, the possibilities to use variables are really endless. So have fun.